Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. I'm Ralph Michaels, joined in studio with Marco D'Angelo. This is Belmont video 2 of 3. We're talking the contenders, and Marco, you picking Triple Crown races is like me picking NFL. If you hit 60% winners in the NFL, I'm ecstatic. 60% in trifectas the last 5 races. You know, let's talk about the Belmont, and, you know, you explained some of your betting strategies in the first and what's different in the Belmont. Now let's talk about the horses. You know, Justify is the top horse, of course. Who are the contenders to give them a run for the Triple Crown?
Well, the horse that I like is probably the top contender is number 4, Hofburg. Morning line 9-2 on him, and this is a horse that had an absolutely horrendous trip in the Kentucky Derby, Ralph. Coming out of the gate, he was bumped coming out of the gate. Then 2 or 3 different times during the race when he was trying to make moves, every time he wanted to go somewhere, where he went, that closed up. And he had to jerk him, check him, steady him, move him to the outside. And this horse only has 4 lifetime starts. You do that to a seasoned horse, and a lot of times once you check him and steady him, you know, they don't want to go. It's like you're flying on a freeway and all of a sudden slower cars in front of you in the lane that you're in, you can't swing to the outside or the inside because there's other cars there. What do you got to do? You tap the brakes and you lose all momentum. This horse started right back up every single time and continued to drive forward throughout the stretch. He came on and finished 7th in the race, but it was a good closing finish for the horse. And I think if he's closer in this race and can get a clean trip, remember, 20 horses in the Derby. You only got 10 horses to navigate here, and you got 1.5 miles to do your navigation. So sometimes in the Derby, you have a split second to make a winning move, or the hole closes up and you're done for the race. You've got plenty of time in the Belmont. I think he has a big race on Saturday. Another horse that you've got to look at is number 3, Bravazzo, and that was our baby in the Preakness. He's the one that, you know, we were high on. We were talking him up all week going into the Preakness. I thought he had a huge chance in that race, and for the reasons that I pointed out, he had a horrible trip in the Derby. He was caught 4 and 5 wide the entire race in the Derby, and yet still raced good. Well, for everything that went wrong for him in the Derby, and that's why we liked him in the Preakness, everything went right for him in the Preakness, and he came and finished 2nd. But I don't think he gets that kind of perfect trip again because he was able to, he left and got situated where he wanted. Then he just eased him a little bit off the pace. He let Good Magic and Justify battle the whole race in front of him. Had a clean shot in the stretch. Once he emerged out of the fog, you know, we had to, see which horse that was flying, but he had the perfect trip. I don't think he's going to have that here. And I think of the horses, him and Justify, 3 races in 5 weeks, it's got to take its toll on him as well.
You know, top contenders, you have 4 Hofburg, 3 Bravazzo. Give us one more horse that you like.
Well, there's an interesting horse that's going to get a lot of buzz from the people in New York because the connections are from New York. The horse won the Wood Memorial at Aqueduct, one of the big prep races in New York for the Derby, and that's Vino Rosso. And what's interesting about this horse is he's another one that's going to come from off the pace. His trainer is Todd Pletcher. Todd Pletcher has another horse in this race that he's training as well, and that is Noble Indy. Now, Vino Rosso, I said, is a closer. Noble Indy is a speed horse that's at the, near the either setting the pace or right off of it. One of the owners of Vino Rosso is the Rapoli stable. They also own part of Noble Indy. Now, if I owned 2 horses in here and I had the same trainer, I would be telling them, send Noble Indy to set up Vino Rosso because you could soften up Justify. Now, the twist to that is Noble Indy, also Rapoli Stable's partner, happens to be Windstar Farms.
Which owns
Justify. Yeah, so it puts a little bit of a damper in the conspiracy theory what's going to happen there. But if they do get some fast fractions up front, Vino Rosso is another horse that's going to be closing late. He's a horse that you've got to consider on your ticket either way, conspiracy theory or not. But I think Hofburg's the better horse of those 2.
Those are Marco's 3 top contenders in the Belmont to challenge Justify. Remember, Marco's Belmont Package, $39. You can purchase it now and get those plays Friday night, Or Belmont 30, take $30 off a 7-day package that's getting 6 additional days for just $5 each. If you like these videos, give us the thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember, this is Belmont number 2 of 3 videos. Don't miss out. Long shots coming up next.